Time once again for a couple of cold ones with Corey and Carlisle.
You know, I'm glad that's a regular thing. It puts me in the perfect mood.
Yeah, because it gets you giggling. You're like, that's silly ass shit. You know what? It's
not
time
giggling.
to get drunk and talk.
I'm not giggling. It's mellow, man. You got that Barry White tone going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Baby.
That's
what I'm talking about. When Barry White goes on, the panties come off.
All right, I ain't wearing no panties for you now. Let's not get carried away. No, you did. I come in stressed out, and this puts me in a mellow mood. Or it could be the beer. I don't know. We were talking for a while.
Or it could be the group that's trying to get you a nerd girl.
I haven't gone to look at that in a while. I'd gladly take it if they look like that Princess Leia picture they have up there.
Well, it's going to take you a while to get there. Right now, you're still at Wonder Woman.
Wait a minute. You talking about that big ass Wonder Woman they got on there? Oh man, you see,
that's what the point to that. That's where your nerd quotient is right now. You could score that. You can't score Princess Leia yet.
Man, these people they're gonna fuck with me anyway. They're gonna give me that anyway, just for a good laugh. So that's why I ain't going over to that goddamn group. Give me that big ass Wonder Woman. I'll take her. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Because you would turn down ass.
No, because I like it's. I don't want to. Let's just say she came to me, the big Wonder Woman. I wouldn't want her to feel bad. I mean, for me to reject her would hurt her feelings, and that's not me.
That's right.
I'm a good guy. Anyway,
you got to give her the black snake moan.
Is that what I got? The black snake moan?
Well, the black Carter snake.
Black is part of it. Sure, I'll take that half. Let's see. I have got up some topics here to talk about.
Okay, but do you want to start this week where we always start?
Of course, top 5.
Number 5.
I like how you have that nice baritone voice, but when you sing the top 5, it gets all high and nerdy. Number 5.
That's right. Number 5 is alive. Johnny 5.
So have you looked at the list this week?
I have looked at the list this week.
So you know number 5 is?
You know what? I'm blank. Number 5 is Nim's Island.
Yeah,
hold it
good,
in there, dude. Now, just barely above prom night. It's like grasping on with fingernails by like $100,000. So that could shift tomorrow.
Exactly.
It could turn out that Nim's Island, they fudged their numbers just a bit. Well, it's so easy to fudge it by $250,000, $500,000 to where it turns out prom night did better. And prom night was number 5. But by this point, everybody's already talked about it and nobody checks the actuals. So it looks like Nim's Island did well. But it could have actually honestly beat it. I
like how when you have these numbers that we're dealing with, we say, $100,000 here, $100,000 there. That could be a little fudging. You know what I could do with $100,000,
well,
man?
We could do with $100,000, yeah. But the fact is, when you're fudging imaginary math.
Yeah, I'm just saying, ain't nothing fudging about $100,000 to me. I could do a lot with that shit. But okay, let's go on to number 4.
We've talked about Nim's Island enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Took a big dive, man.
Well, it didn't take a big dive. I mean, it still clung in there, but I mean, it went from number 2 to number 4.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, man, especially compared to what beat it, it's kind of like that's just sad.
Well, let's see what beat it. The Forbidden Kingdom.
Number 3, which was number 1 last week.
Exactly.
Still did well. You know what? That's great. That's awesome. I was hoping that more people would discover Forgetting Sarah Marshall and that the buzz would carry it, but that's still holding on, and people are still digging the shit out.
And it's funny because this is a week of neck and neck numbers. For Nim's Island and the prom night, you have both of them have grossed $38 million.
Yep.
And with Forgetting Sarah Marshall and the Forbidden Kingdom, both those have grossed $11 million. Wait a minute, no, I'm sorry. They both this week they brought in $11 million.
They brought in
it's not a cumulative. Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, goddamn. Amassed. They both brought in $11 million, and it's real close. As you said, it's neck by neck. They are fudging $200,000 there.
Well, they could be. I mean, it's happened many times before. Sometimes that fudging ends up flipping a spot. This week you could see that. So if you're like a numbers whore, check it. No, seriously, there are some guys out there like, I remember Micah gave us some crap a few weeks ago going, well, actually, guys, if you look at the numbers, it's like, well, yeah, if you look at the numbers 2 days after we looked at them, yeah, it's exactly how it looks. But no, this is so close. They're estimates. These are studio estimates based on the returns they've gotten. Then the actuals get reported in, and then they total it up, and they go, oh, hey, we were $100,000 and $150,000 off. I've seen it be $1 million off before.
All I know is what's that?
this could be a flip-flop weekend where all of a sudden everything, where by Wednesday the top 5 could be the other 2 movies, and then Forgetting Sarah Marshall, this, and then Prom Night. Who knows?
All I know is $200,000 could buy a lot of fudge. Fudge
is that a euphemism?
Well, I don't know euphemism for what. I don't want to go any further with this. I don't like the way you're taking this. I'll tell you what kind of whore I am. Besides being the average whore that you know me for, I am a theater whore. And I'm looking at if you look at it as far as the percentage of theaters, the number of theaters these movies opened up in, Forgetting Sarah Marshall actually did better. It was opened up in fewer theaters. And it is actually holding on at the same number.
So, in other words, it's doing a better per screen average.
It is. Exactly. It is. Because Forbidden Kingdom is in 3,000 theaters, and Sarah Marshall's in 2,800 actually. So yeah. And for anybody who gives a shit. So anyway, let's go on and move on to number 2.
Oh, and this is where it starts getting depressing, dude. Number 2,
now,
Harold and Kumar.
Now, why are you depressed by this? Because
No, I know what 2 movies we're going to take the top 5, but
you see that? I'm about to drink the bottle with we have okay, people. We have all our beers spread out around here. I just reached down and I'm sitting up here about to drink a beer with a bottle cap on it, and should say something about what? Damn, you were gulping that down, man.
It was just one beer, dude. We started before we started recording.
Oh, okay. I thought you chugged that shit.
No,
I'm like, damn, what's the rush, man?
No rush.
Should have been talking to you. I look up and you over there looking like a goddamn wino. No.
Hand me the goddamn bottle opener, bitch. Stop talking shit and let me drink.
I'm just saying.
I will kick your faggoty ass, dude.
Oh, no. Why you got to go there with that, man? Not just my ass, but my faggoty ass. What?
I don't mean to out you on the show,
Ain't nothing to out. And see, that's how rumors get started, man. I mean, not that I'm talking about the gays or anything. They're fine. They're good people. No homophobia.
He loves inviting them in. And out.
Okay, all right.
Paying them lip service.
Okay, what the hell are we talking about?
We're talking about number 2. Harold and Kumar go to Guantanamo Bay.
Speaking of childish humor, Harold and Kumar go to Guantanamo Bay. It's funny because you like the first movie a lot.
I do. I love the first movie.
Yeah, and so now, what is it that you didn't like about this movie?
It just didn't. It didn't resonate the same way the first one was. The first one was silly. It was a fun little adventure film, and it was a stoner adventure film. And this had all this political commentary, but wasn't smart enough to know the jokes to tell. And then they just got really crass and base for no apparent reason.
See, that was my problem with it. The shit was just nasty just to be nasty. I don't mind dirty humor. I mean, we're not exactly the cleanest people around here. So, but when you throw all kind of sex jokes and bodily function jokes in there, and they just really have no thread between them.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, look, regardless of what we thought about Harold and Kumar, it's a sequel. You knew it was going to be number 2. I mean,
I actually thought it might be number 1. I thought
our number 1. Yeah.
I thought because everybody online was just so excited about it, and I didn't want to break everyone's heart by going, "Oh, dude, no, it actually kind of sucks." But you know what? I wish it were number 1 because I liked it a hell of a lot better than I liked number 1.
Yeah. Okay. Number 1 is Baby Mama.
Baby Mama. And
I heard you just went ape shit, crazy, hating this movie.
I fucking hate this movie, dude.
And everybody walked out and they were saying, even Leon was the one that liked it the least, and he said, "I'm not crazy about it," but Carlisle was harsh on it. I don't know what the hell was wrong with him.
I fucking hated that, dude. I did not laugh once. There was not one joke that got me to laugh in that movie. Not one. There was nothing elicited a smile. I was sitting there in pain the whole fucking time. Every joke that was moderately amusing was in the fucking trailer. We already saw anything that was remotely smart, and that was already ruined. And then you walk into the movie, and there's nothing else smart. There's whole characters that are superfluous. There's no reason for them to be in What the fuck was Steve Martin in there for 12 scenes for?
I didn't even know Steve Martin was in the movie. He's not in any of the trailers or clips.
What the hell was the point to, the fucking doorman? Who would just show up randomly helping them open shit in their apartment.
Because he's the black funny guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's the same black dude from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
He's funny. No, the real thing, what made me so mad about this movie is there isn't a person in the major cast who isn't an incredibly talented comedian. Every last one of them. Tina Fey is hilarious. Amy Poehler is fantastic. I love Steve Martin. I love Greg Kinnear. Dude, I think Dak Shepard is on his way to actually doing some really amazing stuff. I've been impressed with him in the past. I even love the guy who played the doorman. I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, Malco something.
Something.
Yeah.
All of them are incredibly funny people, and they made a movie that didn't make me laugh once. How do you not make me laugh
All right, the movie.
once?
Okay, the movie. It opened at number one.
Yeah.
It's not getting bad reviews, so it's not like these people have wasted their time with it. They'll go on to
it's
bigger
not getting
things.
good reviews either. This thing's going to be forgotten in 3 weeks.
Yeah, but it's not a dead. The movie hasn't been panned.
I hated it though. I just thoroughly loathed
I like the way you say I hated it. Like you were going to be the deciding factor on how well this movie does.
No, I'm not. But it's to say that nobody disliked it, like and I've talked to other people who really hated it too.
Well, I haven't seen it. I'm not. Hey, look, I ain't sitting up here defending.
Oh, that's
Baby
right.
Mama.
You weren't there.
I don't know. I'm not watching it. I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah,
and you know what? I probably won't go see it. I mean, but that's why I'm listening. I'm just saying.
Ass.
I'm just saying from the people that from the reviews that I've read and the people that I've talked to, it just you were the one. I don't want you to get stressed out about this movie.
I'm not. No, in fact,
you just
I totally
seem very
forgot about
intense
this movie until you brought it up again, and it just brought all those seething emotions. How do you make a movie with some of the most talented comedians working today, and then have it be a complete and utter shit stain?
But for some people, it's not. I mean, the movie did well. A lot of people liked it. Like I said, I'm not defending the movie. Yeah. I'm not defending the movie.
The movie made what, $18 million?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying,
and this is the only weekend it gets because next week is all about fucking Iron Man.
Well, yeah, they knew they were gonna make their money this weekend. Iron Man gonna come in and slap the shit out of all of them. So
and then of course Uwe Boll's Postal comes out next week.
That movie's not gonna get any bigger.
You should have me and Cyrus sit down and do a review of that film.
We've
seen
to.
it.
No, I would love to.
And it comes out next week. And Uwe's been pimping the shit out. Not that I really want to give Uwe any more press. He's working it hard on YouTube because that's the only place that'll carry him now.
I love that clip of him on YouTube.
Which one? There's a couple.
Well, the only one that I saw. I'm the fucking genius.
Oh yeah, he followed that up.
He's
challenged Michael Bay to a boxing match.
He could probably beat him too.
No,
come on, man. He the guy's. Now, for those of you who don't know who
Michael Bay is the fucking man, bitch. Do not talk about Bay.
I'm just saying Michael
Do
Bay
not
doesn't know how to
infer
box.
that Uwe Boll
Michael Bay
so
doesn't know
much
what
as
to box.
suck Bay's dick.
Michael Bay. First of all, Michael Bay makes a lot of bullshit.
Fuck you.
And second of all,
Michael Bay fucking owns your world.
Okay, you know what? If I had to put money down on this, first of all, people, Uwe Boll or Uwe Boll, what have you say his name?
Uwe.
Okay, Uwe Boll, German director. You heard us say this before. German director who's made a ton of video game adaptations. They've all been shitty.
All of them suck.
All of them. And I haven't seen one, so again.
Oh, that's right. You've never seen an Uwe Boll
I've never seen
You've
one.
never suffered through Alone in the Dark. You've never seen House of the Dead. You've not
Dungeon
suffered
Siege.
through In the Name of the King.
I have it sitting in my room right now in the Name of the King.
You can't bring yourself to watch it.
I ain't gonna waste my time watching that shit. I got too much to do. But I will say this. To the man's defense, I hear that he's an expert pugilist. And I do think that he could beat the shit out of Michael Bay.
He was a Golden Gloves boxer back in the day.
Yeah, I think he could whoop Michael Bay's ass.
He's a PhD in literature.
Oh, man. He could totally beat Michael Bay's ass.
Dude, I don't know. Michael Bay's got a 14-inch schlong.
So what is Michael Bay going to do? Pull his dick out and slap the shit out of him with it?
He just unzips and goes, I win.
You make it sound like this is some kind of Mortal Kombat shit going on. Like he's going to pull his penis out.
Mortal Kombat! Get over here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Run right in there.
Get over here.
Dickality. Now, that's a video game I like to see.
Michael Bay wins. Dickality.
Maybe I would not want to see that. Anyway.
Schlongality. That's going to amuse us all night. Just for the rest of a couple of cold ones, just out of nowhere, you're going to hear that.
You're going to hear from him. I'm leaving this shit alone. I'm walking away.
So, Baby Mama, number one, total piece of shit. Not worth your time.
Oh, come on now. Now, a lot of people, I'm just trying to be fair here.
You can be all the fair you want. Tell me one person you know that said, you know what, I really liked it.
Cyrus
didn't really like it.
Yeah,
he said, it was all right. I don't hate it.
No, he said, when him and Leon were talking, did you hear the review? He said,
no, because I talked to him at home.
No, he said, I really enjoyed it. He said, I'd see it again.
Oof.
And those were his words. Watch the review.
What happened to his balls? Oh my God.
I don't know, maybe you beat him down to where you scared him. He gave you the answer you wanted to hear because you had him all nervous. And then when he escaped from your wrath, he finally admitted to how he really felt. You bully son of a bitch, you. I know what you did. You probably just beat him into submission.
No, he gave me that look. He was telling me he could tell that I hated it. He's like, I could tell how you feel about a movie by how you're sitting in a chair. Yeah. You'd slump down and you were slamming your head against the metal bar beside you.
And you do this too. You're like, you do that out loud a lot.
Oh well, I can't help it, dude. It's a physical thing for me. You know, watching a movie is dude. That's church for me, dude. And
church, like you sit in there, hey man.
No, not that kind of church. White church, where you sit reverently silent.
Okay, so you and I had two different
we
church
went to different
experiences.
churches, man.
I went to one of those churches where you always had the one black woman who every Sunday, because I was an usher, so whenever you had somebody get happy is what we call it, they'd sit right in the middle of the congregation, and always be some fat black woman, and she start fatting herself, and you can tell she's getting happy, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh yes, Jesus!"
Oh, see, I was an altar boy. I was raised Catholic.
Oh
so.
shit, you did, man. We had a rock concert compared to what you had.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, we would see the Protestants come in and they would have like guitars to play their music, and we're like, wow, oh my God. The first time I went to a black church, it's like, holy shit, they have a drummer. Holy crap. We had an organist and a woman singing Ave Maria, for Christ's sake.
No, man, we had it going on. I mean, we had real wine. We weren't even
we
Catholic.
had real wine.
But we weren't Catholic. All that grape juice shit. No, the kids were drunk. I think that's why the woman got all happy because she was tipsy. And they want our little asses to go over there and always pick up the big black woman. I mean, I'm 14 years old. You got this woman who's like 300 pounds talking about, oh, Jesus. And I'm like, fuck this, man. But compared to what you had going on, I was a fucking Chuck E. Cheese or something. Cause look, I've been to some white churches. I have to admit, it's the most boring thing in the world.
Oh, dude, we believe in one God, the Father, the Almighty, creator of heaven and earth.
Well, that's Catholic. Let me change it. I've been to a Catholic church because I have been to some. I haven't been, but I look at all those white churches on TV where they pull out the snake and shit, and they're gonna wrap it around.
Well,
now
that's charismatic, and the charismatics. You know what? We're not gonna make fun of religions, but charismatics scare me. I'll say that much. I've been to a charismatic service, and that
is that what they call it? Charismatic.
Charismatic is when you channel. A lot of times speaking in tongues and falling into seizures, snake bites, things like that. That's called charismatic.
See, I love that. I can watch that for hours, man. I even love the televangelists where they come and bop somebody on the head and they fall backwards and shit. Shabbalom. Yeah,
the Oral Roberts school of making money.
You know me. I mean, I'm not a religious person at all, but I'll watch.
We are pissing off a bunch of people.
When I'm pitching, what, because of my beliefs? I'm pissing off people?
No, I'm just saying we're going there.
Fuck them. I got my beliefs. They got theirs. I ain't making fun of anybody. I just said, hey, I like going to church. How am I pissing off people? I mean, as long as it's lively and they got snakes, I'll go to church anytime.
Now, as long as there are women there and they're single.
That too. Women, single, snakes. Put all that together. Hey, man, I'll be there every Sunday. Video. What's that?
You've got a Madonna video. Church, snakes, single women. Yep.
The Church of Madonna. Yeah, I'm there.
All right. So
every Sunday.
You had some things you want to talk about.
All right. Big stuff happened this week, and I'll go ahead and tell you what it is now.
Nothing big happened.
No, oh yeah, nothing at all. Nothing like The Hobbit gets a director.
Well,
Wesley Snipes goes to jail.
No. Well, first of all, we knew both of those things forever.
No, well, we didn't know, really. A lot of people didn't know. First of all, let me just say, I want to get your opinion on this. I was just going through the news looking up stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this dude in Korea. Korea, how do you say it? Korea. This guy, okay, now you know this Olympic torch been causing all kind of hell for people. Everybody's coming out and protesting this. They're protesting this torch.
Yeah.
Like the torch is this. I think this torch is more notorious than Osama bin Laden now. Everybody,
because people can find the torch. The torch is still alive somewhere.
But the torch keeps getting away. So now and
people are actually looking for the torch.
The torch is all out in the open.
We've got a whole government going, Osama who? No, I thought he was running for president.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm surprised that torch hasn't been blamed for terrorism yet. But you have, first of all, people were protesting in over in the
Everywhere. They've been protesting
I mean, overseas and here when they were protesting they were protesting in the UK. They protested in San Francisco. Now they're protesting in Korea. And there was a guy that tried to set himself on fire.
They do that over there, dude.
I know. What kind of fucking mind state do you have to be in to put yourself on fire?
That's the point. The point is you have to be so committed to something that you want to prove a point so badly that you will not only give up your life, you will do it in the manner which causes the most pain to show that what someone else is doing is wrong.
I mean, I'm not in. Okay, first of all, this guy.
Maybe this guy was just jealous because he wasn't the torch.
Yeah. You want to get. Yeah, he's like, you think that's a fire? That's a fire.
He's pouring. He can't. He lives in Korea. He doesn't have much money. He's like, can anybody spare a match? Hey, hand me that thing.
Yeah, shit. He's running down the street in here. Now this is a fire right here.
Da, 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 Koreans of fire. Da, 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 da.
Now this guy, he is an immigrant from North Korea, and apparently North Korea there are no civil liberties at all. And I'm thinking that's what they're saying. It's like these people they have no right to.
They're actually run by the world's craziest movie nerd.
Oh, you're talking about Kim Jong-il?
Oh, Kim Jong-il is insane, but he's like one of us, dude. He's like a hardcore film geek.
Are you really? Well, I know okay, is this true?
It's true.
He held 2 filmmakers captive so they could make a movie about him.
And he had some discussion about kidnapping Drew Barrymore.
Kim Jong-il wants to kidnap Drew.
There was a comment made about it, but whether it was, I don't know how much of it was true. But he's got thousands of DVDs. Like, he's a hardcore movie nut. Like, he sits around at home when he's not, governing the country and ruling it with an iron fist. He's kicking back and watching Harold and Kumar. And
well, he's kind of cool with me. I've always wanted to kidnap Drew Barrymore, so he's all right in my book. But apparently he's so he is such a dictator that this guy, they executed his brother for some reason, and I guess they want to send him back. Now that he's all out in the open, I guess instead of going back, he says in protest, but I'm thinking he's like, fuck that. I ain't going back. I'll set myself on fire before I go back to North Korea. And there you go.
See, the thing is what you don't understand, Corey, is North Korea has some of the world's greatest and most devoted stand-up comics.
What?
They have, and this guy was trying to do the world's greatest Michael Jackson impression. And then he works it into where it becomes a Richard Pryor impression.
I was about to say, that's not Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was just the hair. Richard Pryor's the one that blew himself up.
Well, he starts with the hair and goes with Michael Jackson and moves into Richard Pryor.
Man, this poor guy.
This guy is devoted. Now, you can only do that performance once. But if you could see it, that was some incredible comedy to be had over there. That was astounding stuff.
Man, you were so this poor guy's probably dead as we speak.
This guy lit himself on fire. The guy gets all the fucking mocking
they caught
he deserves.
They caught him before he did it.
Did they stop him?
Yeah, they stopped.
They stopped the live performance.
Yeah. Yeah,
Michael Pryor.
Yeah, exactly. The world's greatest, what do you call a performance artist?
Impressionist. He's the Rich Little of North Korea.
And this dude's probably, they probably sent him back to North Korea and probably set his ass on fire for them. Well, they probably got him on a grill right now, serving him up to hundreds of hungry North Korean people.
Kim Jong-il.
Yeah, he's eating his ribs right now. I know this isn't movie related. It just caught my attention, and
You just had to talk about some dude setting himself on fire.
That fascinated me because you always hear about. Because I think first of all they were protesting the torch for the crackdown on Tibet.
Yeah.
And you hear about monks setting themselves on fire all the time, but I think monks have a discipline. They discipline themselves enough to where they can tune the fire out.
No,
they're like Jedis.
They still scream like wild banshees. The problem is that yeah, dude, holy shit, I'm on fire. Hey, that's for the longest time. Whenever life's got you down, a friend taught me that whatever's happening to you, at least you're not on fire. And those guys can't say that.
No, it ain't
it doesn't get much worse than being on fire.
No, it ain't like the Al-Qaeda terrorists where they blow themselves up and it's done like that.
Yeah,
when you set yourself on fire,
like
protest.
You press a button and then you're a stain on the pavement.
Yeah, but when you set yourself on fire, you have time to think, fuck, this was probably a mistake.
You got to be really committed. The thing about those monks is that they'll sit in place, and there's actually a word for it. It's called self-immolation.
But they'll sit there because I know you set me on fire. I'm gonna be running down the street screaming my ass off.
That's the single greatest form of protest ever. Is you just walk up and set yourself on fire. That's the whole point of what you.
And
do.
the fact that you can just sit there. That's what I'm saying. Those monks, man.
It's saying, look what you're doing. That you have driven me to this.
And meanwhile, somebody's not even. To me, I don't get the point. You're trying to say, look at what I'm doing here. Now, learn a lesson from this. I'm looking at this and I'm like, fuck, that guy's on fire.
Yeah, but by the same token, you're also suddenly paying attention to a region you weren't paying shit to.
Are they? Or are they just paying attention to this dude that's himself
well,
on fire?
it shines a spotlight.
I mean, I hope so, man.
Because you could give a shit about what's going on.
Hey, look, that's some dedication for your ass. So I'll hope if you set yourself on fire, I'll hope somebody's paying attention after that. If nobody else but KFC. Okay, moving on. Let's now I want to say this thing with the Hobbit. Okay, now you probably know more about this than I do. So please tell people what the history is with trying to get the Hobbit made into a movie.
Well, the Hobbit has had a lot of problems. They wanted to move on to it right away. New Line. The whole thing is with the Lord of the Rings. They shot the first 3 films together.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Let me explain for those who don't know. The Hobbit is the prequel to the Lord of the Rings.
It was written afterwards, which is appropriate.
Was it written afterwards?
Yeah, he wrote it after the Lord of the Rings. It was the prequel that he wrote later. Now the thing is that when New Line first, most people don't realize this, but when New Line first shot all the films, they didn't allocate the budget for the special effects yet. They gave the budget, they gave a modest budget to the first film, and they wanted to see how it would do so that if the film failed, then they could give crappy special effects budgets to these next 2 films and drop them out hoping for success. Mm-hmm. But it was huge, so instantly Jackson got every cent he wanted because they knew they were getting it back and then some. They instantly tried to set about getting The Hobbit ready so they could shoot The Hobbit to have it ready a year or 2 after these films. But the rights were tangled up because
it's with MGM.
MGM owned the rights to The Hobbit because of the movie they made. Now, the thing is...
You're talking about the cartoon movie?
Now, yes. But
I love that movie.
But MGM only had the rights to make a movie. And it's not make a movie, to distribute a movie called The Hobbit. They had the rights to distribute a movie called The Hobbit. New Line had secured the rights to adapt.
So when you say distribute a movie, they could have released a movie about a dog called Hobbit or something. They didn't even have to be the Hobbit.
No, it's the thing is, this is where it gets really kooky because the New Line secured the rights to adapt the book, The Hobbit, but they didn't have the rights to distribute the movie, The Hobbit. MGM still owned that because they owned a movie called The Hobbit, so they could distribute it. And they went to MGM and said, hey, we'd love to work something out with you. And MGM, said, show us the fucking money.
Yeah.
Let's talk green. And they said, we want half. And they were like, oh, hell no, you ain't getting half. You're not shouldering any of the burden.
So that's why they didn't want to make it in co-production because there was an argument over...
It was an argument over cash, and it took a while to hammer things out. And as always, just like the Spider-Man rights, where 7 different companies own Spider-Man properties, someone came in with a big box of money and said, here, everybody have money, shut the fuck up, we're making a movie. And so that's what happened. So then, once they got that settled, it was all about who's making it, because Jackson doesn't want to make it.
How come he didn't want to make it?
Dude, he's moving on. He's doing other things. That was his thing. Think about it. He started putting together Lord of the Rings he started working on it in 98. He started putting together pre-production stuff.
We're talking
in
about Peter Jackson, director of the...
He started working on the pitch in 98. He started working on the film in 99. The first one was released in 2001, then 2003, 2004.
So you're just saying it just took up a big chunk of his life.
Dude, it took a huge chunk of his life.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different part of his life. He wants to move on to smaller films. He wants to do these other movies that he's producing, that he's directing. And he doesn't want to focus on that anymore.
Well, I'm just so happy that he got Guillermo del Toro to do it.
Oh, Guillermo's awesome.
And we talked about it last week. Guillermo del Toro, the guy who has directed such movies as Hellboy, the upcoming Hellboy 2,
Pan's Labyrinth, The Devil's Backbone, Mimic, Chronos.
And I don't like all of his movies.
And Blade 2.
And Blade 2. In fact, I like most of his movies. I think the only one I really didn't like was Hellboy. But
I love Hellboy though.
But the guy's such a visionary, man. He's a true artist.
Yeah.
And The Hobbit is I like that book much more than I ever did Lord of the Rings.
Well, it's much more of a fun book, and the characters are richer. Mm-hmm. Because it's more about Gandalf and Bilbo and Smaug.
It's a quest, man. I mean, it's
a real quest.
It's straightforward, and I love that book. That is, I've told people before ever since I was 13 years old, that has been one of my that is probably my favorite book.
And it's going to be 2 movies.
And it's going to be 2 movies.
That's going to be so awesome.
And I heard they're going to get Gary Coleman to play Bilbo Baggins. I just want to see you paying attention to me, man. I would love that, though.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
no, you fucking. You would love that for 3 minutes, and then you'd be, who the fuck thought it would be a good idea to cast Gary Coleman as fucking Bilbo Baggins? Who the fuck thought that was a good idea? No, it would be funny for like a 12-second bit on Family Guy, in which it's Gary Coleman getting touched by gay old Gandalf.
I just love that
would
look.
Be funny, but you know what?
It just gave me such a cold look when I said Gary Coleman as Bilbo Baggins. You're like, fuck you.
Suck my limp dick. Oh my god.
Okay, who would make a good Bilbo Baggins then?
Dude, we've already got Bilbo.
What? No.
Dude, they made him look old. He could do. Ian Holm could do it.
Ian Holm's too old to play Bilbo Baggins.
He is not
man.
too old to play Bilbo Baggins.
No, they can't fuck with him. No, they got to get somebody younger. They got to get
Bilbo Baggins was old in the story. He was like 50 years old.
No, he was a young Hobbit.
Well, but the young Hobbit is 50 years old.
But by Hobbit years, they look younger. They need to get.
Dude, they've got to have some consistency. They got to have Ian Holm.
A player, a Hobbit in there, right? Nice, handsome Hobbit.
No, they do not.
They can't get Ian Holmes to do that.
Then you know what? I stand by Ian Holm.
I say get George Clooney to be the Hobbit, and put some CG body on him, make him look short. Put some ears on him, let him go to town. Now I truly believe this. You look at me like I'm making a joke, but I believe this to my heart. George Clooney.
You are out your goddamn monkey mind. You don't even joke about the fucking Hobbit, dude. Step away from the geek material. This is why Princess Leia kept turning your ass down, dude. You realize that. Gary Coleman and George Clooney in the Hobbit. Oh, fuck you.
I'll pay for a prostitute and put her in a Princess Leia outfit. I don't need no fucking nerd chick. Give me that fat Wonder Woman. She'll be quiet at least.
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
So, waiting
no, in all seriousness, man, and I'm joking around, but I really do. I think Guillermo del Toro is a perfect choice.
And he's been set up forever. They just didn't confirm it until this week. And said, he signed the paper.
Well, when he was at Comic-Con, he was very sincere. He was just saying, I can't say anything now, and he did say anything could happen in the next 4 days, but it's very close. I just can't say anything, and I really want to. So